Hello. All right, so this is something I've been kind of debating for a decent amount of time. I made a post on Twitter kind of about this, but um, for those who are familiar with my channel, Klonoa is one of my favorite franchises or series of all time. The original Klonoa game on PlayStation 1 is one of my, probably my, could be my favorite PlayStation 1 game of all time. It's definitely still arguably my favorite platformer, 2D platformer of all time. These games were super important to me as a kid, um, and I'll explain that as I start to play it. But um, I originally was debating whether or not I was going to do a full playthrough. So if you're new to the channel, I don't really do full playthroughs on this Twitch channel. I typically just kind of check out games for like an hour or two, like new releases or anything that I'm currently playing, and then I share my thoughts on it and just kind of toss it into the void. So it's very rare for me to do a full playthrough. If it's a short, like kind of retro game or like a really kind of brief indie release that is just a few hours and I happen to finish it on stream, that's kind of like the outlier or the exception to how I usually stream games. But um, this game was announced. Well, this game's been rumored. This collection of Klonoa 1 and 2 has been rumored for like well over a decade, I feel like. And it actually just came out yesterday, which is wild. So it was revealed, I think, sometime last year, maybe this last summer, over the whole kind of E3 Summer Game Fest period. I could be wrong, but it was rumored for a very long time and then officially announced not too long ago, and now it's finally out. So, um, Klonoa specifically, the first game. I love the sequel as well, Klonoa 2, but Klonoa 1 is such a like an impactful, uh, meaningful experience for me as a kid. It was the first platformer or first game probably that made me cry. The ending is really, really sad without spoiling anything or getting ahead of myself. Uh, so it was also kind of the type of growing up with games like Super Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog, or even once I kind of got into uh, the PlayStation 1 era with like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and all that stuff, like there weren't many platformers that like kind of had something to say, I guess you could say. And Klonoa did though, or it kind of it tugged on, it pulled certain strings that other games weren't at the time, and its cute kind of um presentation and you know, looking at it from afar, it's like you're a cat with floppy ears that wears a Pac-Man hat. Like, I'm sure it's just like a cute little story that doesn't really go anywhere, but it's actually really depressing, which I loved everything about that. um but and there's such an interesting legacy here as well in terms of like where who worked on these games. They were Namco games originally, but and I didn't learn this until a little later. But the director of the first Klonoa, or at least he worked on the first Klonoa game, was someone who directed and worked on like the NES Ninja Gaiden game. So there's like a really interesting, you know, lineage or legacy here. They're just not like random mascot like era platformers that just popped up and disappeared, even though they did kind of disappear for a very long time. Um, but so I still have my original copies of both these games. I don't know how much is going to show up on the camera that well. So, and this copy survived a house fire. So the disc isn't in too bad of a shape. It's actually been resurfaced, which I unfortunately had to do at some point. And honestly, I haven't tested this disc in a very long time, and it's been through a house fire and sat in like soot smoke for like probably 24 hours. So it's a very sentimental piece of my collection. I think this is the copy that I salvaged. It could be, but it's incredibly rare. It's incredibly expensive. So this new collection that they just released is very convenient and timely for people who want to re-experience the games for the first time, and also uh, for newcomers, I would hope. So I'm really hoping this game sells well because the producer or someone who's worked on this collection has said that if this game does well and the reception's, pretty positive, that they'll either look into bringing some of the side games. So they did like 2 GBA games, or maybe even more than two. Um, I have the two on Game Boy Advance, but I won't show them today. So they'll probably do a collection of those. I would assume, since a lot of these remastered collections are like a big deal today. But what I want obviously is a true. I've been asking for a Klonoa 3 for such a long time. So I'm hoping we finally will see that in the near future. But so please go buy this if you have the means. Just fucking buy Klonoa and play it. And I won't be streaming Klonoa 2 today, but I brought it out of the collection. This is also pretty rare and expensive. So again, if you don't own the original hardware or don't want to pay like an arm and the leg just to have the original versions of these two games, this collection's probably your way to go. And I'm hearing mostly positive things about it. There was a Wii remake that changed a good amount of things in the original game that sold like shit, and it's the reason why Klonoa disappeared for as long as it did. Because they attempted to remake the first game for the original Nintendo Wii. I bought it, I played the shit out of it. I have my qualms with it, but there were some choices that they made in terms of like there's gibberish language in both Klonoa games, or at least the first one, and they replaced it with like English, like real world voice acting. So that was kind of a weird change, and then the visuals kind of lost that like gritty PS1 era charm, but that's going to happen with any remake that you do for the most part. So this seems to be kind of like a best of both worlds, from my understanding. The uh, Klonoa Door to Phantomile in this fantasy reverie series seems like it's sort of based on the Wii version, but with like the PS1 character model or aesthetic. That's my understanding. Um, with a bunch of other extras and bells and whistles that they added exclusively to this version of the original, the first two games. So I'm really excited to check it out. And again, a part of me wasn't gonna stream these games because I've been kind of conflicted on A, how I feel about streaming, B, uh, a big part of me really just likes to kind of like turn the lights off, close the door, stay offline, and just enjoy games to myself or for myself because it's my favorite thing to do. Um, and for a release like this, I'm just like, you know what, I just want to enjoy this on my own. But I also kind of wanted to archive and share my thoughts on it, so I've been very, very conflicted. I almost this morning almost just booted it up without starting my stream, but I think I'm gonna commit to a full playthrough. We'll see how long it takes. Um, so this is part one. I'll probably just do 3 levels. I want to savor this as much as I can. So I don't even know if I'll finish this by the end of the year, because of like work and personal things, and I'll be doing some traveling again. I'll be away from um, my streaming area for another month or so, a month or two probably. So we'll see how far we get, but I'm not going to try to rush it, and I'm also probably a bad idea, but I'm going to combine this playthrough with another game that I'm obsessed with called Ape Escape, which is also from the PlayStation 1, and they recently re-released it with trophy support on the PlayStation Plus Premium like Classics collection, which I've upgraded to. So I have not started that as well, but both Ape Escape 1 and Klonoa 1 are like top tier PS1 games for me. So I kind of want to revisit both of them and talk about both of them, why they're so special to me, and also just do, since they're not super long games, but if you go for 100%, I'm gonna try to shoot for 100% playthroughs and however many parts this takes. So let's just get into it, I guess. Because I really just wanted to fucking play this, and I almost didn't even bother streaming it, but I guess I'm committed to it now. So, Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I'm gonna try to dissect this as much as I can. I wasn't expecting like just Namco Bandai logo and then just like dump me to a new. The art looks nice though. It's like a new art splash screen with no music on this kind of like. I'm sure once I hit start, the music will play, but a little surprised by like just kind of dumping me here without any kind of fanfare. There's no music in the background. Okay, some license agreement nonsense. Oh my god. There we go. All right. This is the classic Klonoa title screen music. So I guess they redid music for this collection. Because this sounds like a different variant of it. Then... Oh, they're both so good. Alright. I don't even know if I'll get to Klonoa 2 this year, depending on how long this takes me. Let's just start with the first game. Classic. Pixel filter. Let's go and see what it looks like. Oh, they got the little like citizens at the bottom on the sound screen. Those are like the kind of the people from the various kingdoms, I think, like citizens or. You know what? Let's take the. I don't know about this pixel filter. I kind of just want to like. All right, start it. So this was something they added new difficulties? Ooh, I think my screen... On the stream, the screen's okay, but my... Let's see if I can change that. The screen on my TV is kind of... not centered for some reason. There we go. I don't know why that was... That's been happening lately with how I've had, like, the, whenever I switch to the Elgato for my, my PS5, or some of my systems, it seems like the screen's just, like, completely off. Let's do normal. So yeah, I'm not gonna play on easy, obviously. 5 hearts! This game's not super difficult either. The hardest thing about this game is kind of collecting everything, I would say. So I don't know what they've added in terms of, like, extras. But let's just play on normal. Ooh. So this was originally a CG cinematic, and now it looks like it's in real time. Klonoa looks so much better than his Wii remake look. So this is like his original PS1 kind of character model, redone in 3D, or whatever this new engine they're using. This always reminded me of like Nights into Dreams a little bit as well. It's from that era, sort of. This is after the Sega Saturn, and not related to Sega. Classic. Oh, it's so good. Ooh, new text menus. The soundtrack's incredible. Oh, so I'm obsessed with these intro title cards. I'll try to talk about them more as they pop up, but like, so instead of like level 1, stage 1, it's called Vision, and they do the whole hyphen like this is Vision 1-1, like stage 1-1. So that was the other cool, like, there's just so much like little like details that just make the whole atmosphere and vibe of the game like unique compared to any other platformer from its time. Alright, I don't need 2-player stuff. Jump higher with support jumps. Let's see. Okay, so this is just for like beginners. An extra Klonoa, so they call the extra lives Klonoa. That's funny. You gotta collect all the gems in the level. I know how to play this game. Dreams from their nightmares. 6 Phantomilians. So it's interesting with these kind of, the original release didn't have these kind of tutorial windows, so I didn't even know they were called Phantomilians till like the second. So each level you basically have to collect all the gems and save all of these like 6 kind of hidden citizens that have been trapped. And I love the camera. So I'm obsessed with camera zooming out. So again, you put yourself back in the PlayStation 1 era, there weren't a lot of games that that were doing what this game does. It's kind of it's a 2.5D specifically, but You know, most 2D games from like the PS1, Sega Genesis, uh, Super Nintendo era were straight 2D platformers, but this has that kind of 3D like effect. Only the whole game is still a 2D platformer and it's on a 2D plane, but the camera will like pan out and pitch, kind of like, you know, angle itself sideways to kind of just add like a little extra flair to the presentation. And it was such a cool. So few games did this, and I think the only, from my understanding, the only game that predated Klonoa that kind of used that camera approach was Pandemonium on PlayStation 1, which they weren't the most fun games to play. They're not on the same level of Klonoa, but they were novel and kind of interesting because they messed with that camera perspective. So like again, you're just holding right, left to right, and the camera just zooms out. It shows this like statue on the mountainside. It's just so fucking cool. Clocks to checkpoint. It's Baloo? I think it was Baloo. Or, what was his name? It's B something. Or Roo or Baloo. Balrog. Blue, yeah. Oh! Well, just a little story interwoven into the stages, which is also kind of different, unique from time to time. The cool that is just the cameras work so nice. I don't know why we didn't get more 2D platformers ever like this. So these are essential to like 100%ing a level. These can get tricky later on too. That's the end of the first level. Perfect. Oh, world map. Gets this little song. So if you save those 6 kind of millions in the levels, they will play instruments on the map screen, and by the end of the game, you have this like really cool, pretty like ensemble that plays. Like it's a really nice track. Oh, how did I miss? What? I don't even know how I missed, Ooh, what's that silver? There's a bunch of new things on this map. I did not collect all of the, gems somehow, which is very strange. So I definitely want to go for 100%. Try not to get hit either. Yeah, some vibrations on the that little elevator there, which is cool. I wonder how much like dual sense controller stuff there is. There doesn't seem to be a lot of implementations so far, but how did I get 150 last time? I think I'm still missing something. Oh, I got it. Okay. How did I miss that before? So, alright, this is all new. The original PS1 version, the map looks the same. I mean, visually it's updated a little bit. It's some of the it's redrawn to a degree. I think I don't know. I might prefer the original map a little bit. It had a more. I have to look at it again, maybe. But so you get a crown. I don't know if that crown was for not taking a hit. Maybe I feel like they've added some little extra icons for 100%ing stages or completing levels under like certain conditions, maybe. Um, And you have a gold like icon in the upper left corner next to the vision. I don't know what that means either. Yeah, let's just move on to the next level. That was like a no damage. This is always the tricky. Because you gotta redo this level, you gotta just jump them. Uncomfortable. Oh, it took a hit. Well, now I'll be able to determine if you get a silver or gold medal depending on how much damage you take, which is pretty difficult. That will become difficult. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, which is the way to click multiple paths here? I don't remember which is the way to go. Oh, I fucked that up already. Ah! Wait a minute. No, I did that all wrong. Alright, we'll have to replay this level. Any excuse to replay a level in this game, I don't give a shit at all. How much time I can spend within the world of Klonoa, I'm not gonna complain. What's enemies new? That's not like new enemy. Wow, they have a name for those things now? Mysterious deals. So cool, just like little shortcuts or divergent paths that lead to like little secrets. They just, it's all on the same screen, and you just see everything in the background. It's so awesome. It doesn't seem like a big deal today, but again, if you're just coming off of Mario, Sonic, like Donkey Kong Country, or Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, even, and then you play something like this, it's like Klonoa was really in its own league as far as I'm kind of concerned. It's in the level. Joker, big Joker. Oh God, yes! I'm obsessed with his voice. God, yes. His voice is like extra muffled. Audience is like half the treasure boss, half like a Sonic theme, like it feels like a boss from Knights or something. I wish his voice wasn't so muffled. Joker. I think his dialogue's different. Classic first boss. Aim for his brain. Oh, this music's so fucking good. Rongo Longo. Dude, that those bass slaps. I don't know what that instrument is. It has to be like a wind instrument, but like the composer for Alundra used that like in his compositions. I don't know what it is, but I'm like obsessed with it. I wish Alundra was on PSN store. I would just do like a 100% playthrough of Ape Escape, Klonoa, and Alundra. They're like top. That's like top 5 shit. PS1 stuff for me. Alright, he's got defensibility for range. God, he is his puppet. I gotta replay this level, I totally fucked it up. The fees. I love this trap. The what? What's the voices more like? They sound really low in the mix, or they're just really muffled. Moon Kingdom. This is really good music. Game's so good. Alright, what did I... Okay, so it's over again. But I didn't collect... I missed a bunch of shit. Actually, I really did forget how short this game was. Let's at least go back to level 2. Because I'm not leaving uncollected stuff. The deep in the dark spirit, gunstone mine, or gunstone mine. Did they just like... I cannot stress how obsessed I am with the fact that levels are called visions, and... already fucked up. Well, I'm gonna test my theories on how... what those little icons and emblems are on the stage select screen. That is all new stuff that was not in the original version. One of my complaints about like modern day platformers, or like a lot of 2D platformers from a lot of like indie companies or indie studios lately, is that like these levels are so short and sweet, and I cannot stress how much I love like the concise like, level design. Like you can finish this level in like a few minutes. Oh shit. And it's just it feels super satisfying and like. Long level syndrome is what I call it. It drives me nuts. Like, know when to end your level and pack it like enough unique ideas to differentiate it from the other stages. Because otherwise, your like levels just feel like, you know, again for a platform where like there's no need to have like a gigantic long level. Like, look that shit up and like pack your ideas better. And I always thought Klonoa like perfected that. Like the levels are so short and sweet. Alright, I was doing something wrong here last time. How are you supposed to... Oh. No! Oh, I never start. Never try? Alright. This is harder than I remember. Because if you don't make use of these like little fairy things that multiply your gem numbers, then you can't 100% the level. So, and sometimes it's as simple as like bumping into a gem or a crystal, and like you're fucking gonna start the level over. I do remember that being like the hardest part about this game back in the original PS1 version, and it's still tricky. As many times as I've played this game or replayed it, I'm surprised I'm already like fucking up on the second level. I know what I have to do here, but I'm not doing it right, so... Actually, I think I'm an idiot. Why am I overthinking this? Shoot it now! Oh, God. What is wrong with me? It was so easy. Ah! Look, I missed something. I love that sound when you hit one of these bosses. Longo. It sounds like a Phantom Star Online boss name. But what is that sound they're using. I need to know what instrument that is, or what, like, pad they're using. Whatever. I don't know what that sound is. I fucked up something along the way again. Joker. There's so much they can do with the sequel. A third game, rather. I hope this sells well enough. I did collect everything. Alright, so... the gold... Alright, it's just collecting all the gems and all the people on each stage, all 6 of the Phantom Millions. And then you get a gold little icon next to the vision at the top of the screen. It's cool. I thought there was like a no damage, like... Alright, we'll do one more level and then we're gonna skip to... or jump to Ape Escape, we're gonna start that from scratch. I'll probably do the same thing, like 3 levels there, 3 levels here. Deep in the dying forest, Golak, the tree village. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like I've been saying, you know, any other platform would have just been like stage 2, 1, like Lost Woods or like Forest, whatever. No, it's Vision 2, 1, deep in the dying forest. So fucking cool. At least there's some of these later tutorials, they're not interrupting the gameplay, which is nice. They're just like little parts that are popping up as you're playing, which is honestly preferred. Shit. Alright, I got all that. Rescale. This game, oh my god, I forgot to kind of do this. The music is like a little softer, a little more quiet on the inside, like within the interiors of the level, and then once you get back outside, it's like loud again, which is like such a cool little. I mean, some games, yeah, some games do that, but not every game does. All the platforms have like weird texture vibrations on. It's an interesting choice. Alright, go fill up with stuff. Ooh, I don't think there was a way to get these. I hope not. That's the end of the level. I can't believe how much I remember of this game, too. This music is so good. See, even this is like really unconventional. You go to the second world and like there's like kind of a roadblock in the story. You actually jump to the third world, even though the game's really linear, and you go from there. And then I think you finish the third world and come back to the second world, from what I remember. Oh no, the second world is considered Division 2 still. Or the third world, rather. That's still interesting, though. Alright, so let's stop there with Klonoa. I want to kind of savor it, like I said, and kind of talk as I play through it. Just fun and replayable as I remember it being. I'm a little mixed on some of the changes they made, and generally I think it looks really nice though for whatever visual remix style they were going for. The soundtrack is still like the best thing ever. It's just the vibes and the feeling of it. There's just really nothing like this game. I have such a strong nostalgia for it. But let's go to the title screen. See if anything's changed. Yeah, that file select screen is even new, so it keeps track. It tells you which difficulty you're on. I wonder if there's like a hard. I think you'll unlock a hard mode after you finish it. Keeps track of your lives and how many people you've saved. Which is cool. Right, very well. That's part one of Klonoa. We're gonna switch to Ape Escape and play like 3 levels of that, I think. Let's look at the trophies as well. There's not a lot of trophies. Defeat all the bosses, complete the extra vision. Reading all, so collecting everything, finishing the game. Oh, this is Klonoa. Now we're into Klonoa 2. All this stuff down here is Klonoa 2 stuff. Collect 6 more medals, complete. This is a really easy platinum. I don't think it's asking you. No, maybe it is asking you to collect all of the gems. I don't know. We'll see. I'm 100% it anyway. I don't really care. Wait, what is this bundle pack? Add-on. Digital art book and soundtrack. Joka and Tat Mask set. What? Oh jeez, I'm gonna have to. Ugh. I'll wishlist the DLC. I'm not in a rush to get the DLC. $20. Man, I want to support all this. That's a little pricey, fellas. Well, no, that's cute. The little like store page, the game page says no is back. All right, so let's go to my other favorite PS1 platformer of all time. That's also quite like nothing else, which is Ape Escape. Where is it? Let's change the game type. I'll probably have less to say about Ape Escape as I started it, but I feel almost as strongly about Ape Escape as I do Klonoa. It's not even in the same bracket of Klonoa, but it's a different kind of a platform. It's 3D, first of all. One of the first, if not first, analog stick games for the PlayStation 1. the mixing the sound volume on this is really loud. I don't remember the intro to this at all.
Hey, Spike, did the professor finish the time station yet? Are we gonna get to go back in time?
He said he'd be finished with it today. Let's go.
I can't wait to check out the dinosaurs. And what about the future?
Yeah, we'll keep talking, because I'm going first.
That's not fair. Hey,
You better hurry
I like how I was cutting between both of them, but they were in the same frame. The same
Hey,
shot.
Professor!
Spike, Jake, over here, watch out.
Spike, the time station!
No, no, run you two. It works. It actually works. We did it, Natalie. We did it. The time station is complete.
We don't have time for celebrating. We've got to do something.
Spike, can you hear me? You must listen carefully. Something awful has happened. There's been an accident. The time station has been activated by Spectre and you're being transported back in time. You'll soon arrive in the lost land when dinosaurs roam the Earth. Spectre has sent the apes back in time to try to change the course of history. His plans for world domination have begun. And if we don't stop the apes, history will be changed forever. You're our only chance. Two of my gadget inventions, the Stun Club and the Time Net, were also caught in the transport. I want you to use them to catch the apes and send them back here. The Stun Club can be used to defend yourself against attackers. And when you use it on the apes, they'll be stunned. And you'll have an extra second to catch them with the Time Net. There isn't time for any monkey business, Spike. Our fate is in your hands. We're depending on you. Be careful.
This game just starts. I mean, that was a pretty wild intro, but I miss this game so badly too. It's my favorite. I keep saying that, they really are. Yeah, again, like Ape Escape was like there's kind of like Klonoa, but there really isn't anything like Ape Escape, and it looks probably very dated now. But for its time, you know, late 90s, 1999, it was like, again, I could be wrong, but one of the first, if not first, games to make use of the DualShock controller. So, you know, growing up, again, my first system was NES. I had a Genesis, Super Nintendo, Sega Saturn, and then eventually N64. I had a PS1. The PS1 just had D-pad on its original controller, and then you know, N64 was analog, but a dual stick kind of, at the time, a dual stick game was just like a completely new thing, and it blew my mind because you run around in 3D environment, 3D environment with the left analog stick, and then you do all of your moves and attacks on the right analog stick. And all the gadgets and equipment you get in this game to help you capture these monkeys, they're all tied to like a Zelda-style like button, kind of assignment top right of the screen. So like your sword that's used to thunder enemies, just assign a triangle, but you can push that stuff. And then the net, again, like I'm twirling like the right analog stick around. And take for granted today. Like, there's a ton of twin stick shooters. There's a PS2 era games that use the right analog stick for like, there's that Jet Li game, Rise of Honor. That was a good dual analog stick game. And on top of that, again, like you're capturing these monkeys, so like at its core, it looks like kind of like a generic 3D platformer. But instead of collecting like power stars or smashing crates like a Crash Bandicoot or collecting jiggy pieces in Banjo-Kazooie, like you're collecting monkeys, but you're not just running into them or like solving objectives to like game them. You actually have to like straight up capture them with a net. And they all have different behaviors. So it's starting out. There's not a whole lot of variety in how they. In the first Ape Escape game specifically, being a PS1 game, like their AI isn't like super complicated, but like it was just so novel the first time, and you always look forward to like a new level because it's like, hey, where are these monkeys hiding and what are they doing? And of course, it's goofy and like silly, very cartoony, but. And there's there's Ape Escape 2 and 3 on the PlayStation 2, and there's some weird spin-off games that let up on the PSP, and they made a move, like a first-person move game, PlayStation move on the PlayStation 3, which was like really kind of just okay. There hasn't been like a proper, similar to Klonoa, there's been like a proper Ape Escape sequel or game in the longest time. And it was originally Japan's studio, from my understanding, which has since dissolved. And my hope is always that Team Asobi or Asobi team in Japan just do it in
Yes!
That's for fun. So they would be the only studio at Sony of Japan now that could like produce an Ape Escape game. So that series is the closest we've got to like games that feel like the Ape Escape for like the PlayStation 1 era. But there's so much you can do with this series. Like in terms of the sequels, kind of like played on like TV tropes. So the monkeys were like took over like a TV studio. I think that was in Ape Escape 3. But there's a lot of like film and TV trope kind of like infusion in the later Ape Escape games. So at the time, my kind of funny my idea to make a new modern Ape Escape game would be to like ride on like this NFT bullshit, because like NFTs have like this stupid ape as their kind of moniker or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. That was my idea to like play into like how would you make a new Ape Escape game like in 2020. That would making fun of NFTs and like the apes on the stupid images. I think that would be funny to do, but I know that that's never gonna happen. I know my voice is getting a lot. Let me double check. Is it any better? Oh, weird. I wonder what, I hope it's not, wasn't doing that the whole time. Great. There was a period where, like, it looks like my what is it? The stream quality on my OBS dipped into to red for like a brief period. There was like a hiccup during like my early parts of my Klonoa stream, so I don't know. I just checked all my settings. I don't have like anything running in the background as far as I know. I guess I'll have to check the VOD after the fact. It'd be funny if like I was like super excited to do these two games back to back. It'd be really funny if like... Okay. I wonder if it was like that this whole... If I talked so much about the first Klonoa, like in the first hour of this stream. If all of that's all chopped up, I'm gonna be really like disappointed. These are all the trainings areas. I think this is when you get your gadgets. So yeah, like I was saying kind of when I started this, all the monkeys kind of have like stats and personalities, and it was really basic in the first Ape Escape game, but like they have a level that's assigned to them, which I guess just means like their level of their difficulty to capture, and speed, attack, and alert. And they all have like little funny quips or like information at the bottom for each monkey that you capture. And they're all named, which is like cute. But it has helmet hair problems. Like is this Noonan one. And I guess it's just obviously speed is how fast they run on the field. Attack maybe how aggressive they are or how much damage they do to you. I think it's just their aggressiveness. And then alert, obviously is like, I guess, how close you can get to them before they spot you and start to run away from you. Wants to watch wrestling is Georgie. Natty is dances to loud music. So they get a little bit more complicated. There's like 100 plus of them, so there's a lot to collect, or a lot to find. But that was one of my favorite aspects, was just like, what other platformer from that era had like, your collectibles were alive and running around, and they had like cool kind of information on them. I think this game had time trials. I don't remember though.
New gadget. Check it out.
This is the water net. Use it when you're underwater. I equipped it with an oxygen meter. I'm sending
Yes, hello,
right now. Try
Silence Thing. And thank you for telling me, because like I don't think anyone was in here before, so I never would have known if there were voice problems. So I'm kind of hoping once I watch the first part back, it's not all fucked up. Not that anyone watches like the re-uploads that I put up on YouTube, but I really wanted to like archive, because I'm never gonna do this ever again. This is probably the first and only time I'm gonna do a full playthrough of both Klonoa and Ape Escape, and I just want to like dump my thoughts out on them because they're two super important games to me. It's just two of my favorite games of all time. So after I play through these two and kind of upload them to YouTube, like that's it for me. I'm gonna retire from everything. Oh, I'm hanging in. I'm just busy. Work's driving me nuts. I can't stand it. Yeah, everything, I feel like everything sucks out there still. In terms of just like where things are at on like a universal scale. It's very bleak out there, so that's been depressing, but I mean, I feel like we have, it's really, I don't know how you feel about a lot of things, Silent Snake, but like Klonoa, this Klonoa remake package that just came out yesterday, it's like one of my most wanted things ever to have released in terms of like, you know, things that bring me happiness, but like everything on the outside world just feels like fucking like complete shit. So like a part of me was like, I downloaded it, I was so excited, and then after work yesterday I just like passed out for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, I don't even want to fucking play like the thing that is gonna bring me happiness. So like, I don't know. So I'm a mixed bag, like I think a lot of people are. Wait, what were the controls for this again? How do you die? Oh, it was left click stick. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. It's like take care of yourself and just have empathy and care, you know, for others, and just try to get through all of this.
Let's go!
What have you been playing lately, Silent Snake? I've seen some of your posts like occasionally, just like what you've been up to. Oh, holy shit. Congrats. That's pretty wild, right? Are you able to share what the piece is about, like the pitch that you made? Or is it something you gotta like wait until you write it and kind of release it or publish it? Okay, I've heard of V Rising. Cool. It's not my type of game, but like all the podcasts I listened to started talking about it. Just like it's what was that one game from last year? Oh my god, I'm gonna blank on the name. It was another like online kind of survival, build your own, like create a character, build your own kind of base crafting sort of experience. The fuck's that's like 100 different games, but the fuck was it called? Yeah, Valheim, yeah. But only with vampires though, right? And probably a bunch of other things that are different about it. That's cool. Oh, I'm like super jealous of your writing because like I feel like whenever I post my blog posts or whatever, like they're just like super surface level, like this game feels good to play, or I I tend to talk about like what I've like accomplished in the game and just like structurally like what bothers me about a lot of the games that I play. Like that's where I feel like my writing gravitates to. Like the recent blog post that I haven't shared yet for the second quarter of the year, like all I wrote about was like there were like multiple games where I said like why isn't there a fucking chapter select in this game? Like it's not respecting my time. Like it's it was like Trek to Yomi was like the game where I literally spent like a whole paragraph going like how do you make a chapter-based game, a linear chapter-based game, like in 2022, and you don't have a chapter select? Like that blew my mind. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And I also tend to like try to, since I play a lot of and try to finish a lot of games in the year, my mental goal has been to write like just a little bit about each game, so I don't really get the deep dive like mechanically on one game or one topic. And I don't know if I even want to, but like I try to like talk generally about you know, each game that I play, but I don't feel like I probably it's not very interesting to read probably. Which is like kind of where I'm at mentally, like why am I writing about these games? Like is it any of it useful? I don't know. I'm conflicted on the whole writing thing, and I'm not even trying to do it like professionally. Well, thank you. Yeah, like the only piece I was like kind of really happy about was that little King story um
Oh no!
that I pinned to my Twitter page or whatever that I wrote like 2 years ago at this point. Because it was really personal and it was very kind of like I researched it a little bit. It was like a deep dive into the developer and all that kind of stuff. But like other than that, like most of my pieces like are just like blog like I played this and finished this and here's some thoughts about it. And I'd like to think that my where I'm at with it is kind of like there's so many games to cover, and I like to play a lot of like the niche, less talked about stuff. So if I can share anywhere, I guess, like something positive to say about like a game no one's talking about, like that feels nice. Like just to get something out there, some exposure to a lot of these indie games, because there's too many games today. And I've seen a lot of the other publications and like gaming websites just talk about like it's impossible to cover everything, and I'm like, I think Ben Hansen from MinMax, who was like former Game Informer, like he said like just do your part somewhere. So even if it's like a little shitty blog that like maybe 50 people, maybe if that, read it. I don't even know how many people follow my blog, but like if someone reads it and someone goes, "Oh, that game sounds cool," like I'll go download it. Like that's all I can kind of ask for, and that's where I'm at with like writing, I guess. For myself, at least. God, this game's so easy and fun to play.
Let's go!
But yeah, I do have my second quarterly post written, and I was meaning to do another like reading stream for my second quarter for the year. But with Klonoa having just come out and this kind of Klonoa Ape Escape thing I've wanted to do, or at least streaming wise, I'm not sure when to do it, but I have to do it soon because I don't want July to get away from me, and then I won't have a lot of time to do a lot of either writing or streaming in August into September. So are you still playing like all the Kaizo stuff? All the Mario Kaizo hacks? I saw the SGDQ Mario Maker like marathon or race that they did, which is really cool. I love Mario Maker so much. I used to play I go like kind of through phases with that game. Like I always want to come back to it and like spend days making levels, and then I just like don't. See, look how cool this was. This monkey, like, he was easy to capture, but he was hiding in, like, one of these little eggshells. You got this giant pterodactyl up here. It's just, like, fucking cool. We need Ape Escape 4, and we need Klonoa 3. We need a Lunger 3. And then I can leave this earth, is where I'm at. Was that part of SGDQ, or is that like a separate thing? The Super Mario World hack relay? Okay. Yeah, there's a. I was able to watch some of that stuff live, like while I was working from home that week or two ago, but we gotta come back later for this. So you got backtracking with gadgets. So this game has a degree of backtracking, which is really cool. But yeah, there were a bunch of like I wish I could just put SGDQ on in the background and watch all of it and catch up on all of it, but like there's so many streams and podcasts that I listen to and just like, you know, video uploads from various like gaming sites and stuff that I'm just like, there's no time. I have the games to grind to on the side while listening to all of that, but like SGDQ is tough because it's like part of me wants to actively watch it, but like you realistically can't watch every run. But there are a bunch of games I specifically, like specific runs I probably wanted to go back to. Change of scenery here? Look how cool that is! Ah! Oh, I thought you get like an aerial capture. There he goes. Seems so breezy. I don't remember when the time trials unlock in this game. Alright, so I said I would do 3 levels. I did 3 levels in Klonoa, 3 levels in Ape Escape. Let's look at the monkeys again. I'm just gonna do this for every stream that I do. Barney, can't get down. Won't get out in the rain. Won't go out in the rain. Scotty. Coco can handstand for days. See, they're not even doing anything like spectacular or like really interesting, but there's just so much like personality. You know, all the monkeys like kind of look the same, and their hats are just slightly different, or they have different pants on. Coming out of his shell. Aw, Jay Thomas. These are all level 1 still. Barney. God, there's so much, like I've been saying, there's so much you can do with Ape Escape. You can make a modern Ape Escape game and make fun of NFTs and the stupid apes, like I've been saying. That's my pitch. It would never fly. It's never gonna happen. But to me, that would be the natural progression to make a new Ape Escape game, because like I've been saying, Ape Escape 2 and 3 kind of started heading towards like TV movie tropes, or they became kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like this game was just kind of like time travel. Apes, you know, got a hold of technology they weren't supposed to have, and sort of shenanigans caused from there in like a Saturday morning cartoon sort of way. But by Ape Escape 3, it was like literally like they were making fun of like, you know, classic Western movies and like probably some like, you know, anime from the time. It became more topical and kind of relevant as the series grew, and then they just stopped making them. And it's really sad that they stopped making them. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Hopefully I'll have to check the VOD afterwards. I'm kind of worried or like bummed if my voice or my mic was all jacked up. I had so much to say about like the first level of Klonoa and just the first like kind of hour of me revisiting Klonoa, the first one. But whatever, it is what it is. It's just a sign that I should stop streaming probably. If this is all fucked up at the start, then maybe it wasn't meant to be in terms of like doing full playthroughs of games. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Like a part of me, yeah, thanks Alice Snake for hanging out. Always fun to catch up when we can. But again, a part of me just wants to like shut off the stream and go 100% Klonoa offline, like by tonight. But I really like, again, I've been back and forth in terms of like, I want to keep like revisiting these games to myself, or like share my thoughts and have it kind of archived and uploaded, and just, you know, it's the last time in my lifetime that I'll probably like I won't say that replay Klonoa, but like we're not going to get a remake or revisit to these games ever again. Like it's a miracle this exists, this collection exists. And it's also kind of like surprising that like, you know, Ape Escape is on PS5 and has trophies like the original. That's wild to me. So again, these two games were like super impactful to my childhood. They're some of my favorite games of all time. Top 5, top 10 like PS1 games to me, the original versions. And they just really mean a lot to me. So like I'll hopefully by the end of the month, maybe I'll have these playthroughs wrapped up, depending on, you know, my willingness to stream and my energy levels and whatever. But yeah, thanks for joining. Hopefully the VOD isn't fucked with my microphone. So thanks again, Silent Snake, for at least letting me know something was wrong. But so my next streams will either be like part 2 of these two games, or I'm going to do my second quarterly writing post that's written and finished, and I can submit it and publish it at any time. But I've kind of been streaming it first and kind of proofreading it as I stream, and then I publish it and share it and move on from there. So yeah, have a good weekend, and I'll hopefully see everyone again soon. All right, bye.